Welcome everybody back here front office report. I apologize for the cat. All right,
And
that's
the
how we
cat.
started. Um, Welcome back to our regular tier on Thursdays.
Yeah.
First of all, I am wearing the Braves hat.
Let's go
It's nice
Braves.
to see one more game for the World Series. Let's go.
Who are you gonna support?
NFL.
Who are you supporting in the World Series if the Atlanta Braves
Braves.
get through? You gonna support the Braves?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was my buddy that got me into it, so
Nice. Well,
gotta stay
I'm an
true to
Astros
it, man.
fan, so it's gonna
I know
be
you are. I know
dicey.
you
It's
are.
gonna be dicey here for a week or two.
We should do a watching thing, like a live
Yeah,
watch or
it'd
something,
be good. Two good
Um,
offenses. Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
to NFL.
NFL, yeah. So we have another. I'm not gonna say banger of a game because it's a weird one
It's not a
with
banger.
weather, with all the injuries. It's like the Broncos are facing a whole different team.
Yeah,
So
I would agree with
it's
that.
not the Browns. I have no idea who they are. Uh, So we'll see
Yeah,
where that goes.
yeah.
A lot of fantasy questions. We can get to that later in the day, later in our stream here. Sorry, apologize. Um, but right now we're gonna do our usual. We're gonna talk about the tiers. There's a lot to
Mm.
talk about, a lot to digest, um, and not a lot of time to do it. So
Yeah,
let's
we're
get right
late
to it.
today. We're late.
Yeah, trash of the week. I think this is an easy conversation. We all spoke about it. I was 11 for 12 on money line picks.
That's crazy.
11 for 12. And
Yeah,
the one that I lost was the Chargers.
yeah,
That was
crazy.
crazy. So
Yeah,
apart from that, the
they looked
Chargers did nothing.
they looked really like not Charger like, if you will. They just looked totally off it. The offense just wasn't clicking. It was annoying for me, not even on a betting side, but like on a fantasy perspective. Like the week before, I played someone who had Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, and Mike Williams. He scored about 100 points between just three players. And then this week when he played, he got about a combined like 20 between those three players. So I was so annoyed. Um, but yeah, they weren't clicking. I guess we can talk about them when we get up there. Are we gonna put them in trash of the week though? I feel bad
Yeah.
because here's the thing: the Chargers could have had just one off game, and we do like the trash of the week by week. But they did score more points than the Texans. I did at one point think the Texans were
They
gonna
scored
score.
double the amount that
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Texans
I
did.
mean, three
Yeah,
points more, but yeah. I mean, the Texans
it's
did
double.
have, I mean, a crazy amount of yards, more yards than the Colts did, and still managed to lose. They had more time of possession than the Colts did, still managed to
So
lose. It was
so I was
annoying.
talking to a buddy about this, and I brought up the fact that you brought up all these stats,
Mm,
and it's like great, awesome, but at the end of the day, like if you don't score, then what's the point, right?
right.
But what he said is like at least that shows what the hell happened here. At least it shows some promising um like future. And I
Yeah.
and I guess for Mills, he's playing okay. The team stat wise it's there. It's just, you guys are not even scoring field goals.
Yeah. Well, I
So,
feel like the
you know,
Texans seem to go down, and as soon as they're down 7-0, it's kind of like we don't take field goals because we know the defense can't hold up. So you go for it on fourth
fair
down
enough.
every time. So looking at the stats here, the Texans had four more first downs than the Colts. So they were definitely going for it on fourth down, like almost every fourth down that was after their 40-yard line, basically, to try catch up with the Colts. It just sometimes doesn't work when you don't have the finishing touches in the red zone. We don't have an elite running back like Jonathan Taylor who exploded for like part of the reason why even the stats towards the Colts is lopsided. Jonathan Taylor had like a 90-yard touchdown, which is like so you can wipe off like that 90-yard like one off
That's true.
touchdown kind of thing. It's not like they went 90 yards. It was just like a break in the defense.
That's
So
true.
yeah, I mean all the stats go towards the Texans, but if you can't finish, you're never going to be competitive. I'm a Texans fan. Hopefully, I mean, maybe this weekend we can do even a Deshaun Watson kind of talk, if you will,
Yeah.
because we need to talk about him. We can even do that now, but I think Texans are still trash of the week. It hurts me to say, but everyone else kind of like played well, apart from the Chargers. But the Chargers have been playing
Giants
well
also were a bit.
consistently. Yeah, well, the Chargers. I mean, the Giants at least scored. This is my thing. Is like the Texans didn't score a touchdown, so.
Fair, fair, fair.
And it's
All
against
right.
the
Well,
Colts. It's not
look.
like they were against Arizona or something. Like they could be trash of the week again this week because they're playing Arizona. They probably won't even score a touchdown against
Mhm.
them. So it could be a difficult one. Could be difficult couple of weeks for the Texans.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. I'll share your sentiment. I still do believe, the Giants was my third candidate. They
Hmm.
played nothing. It was really tough,
But
and
they
also
play the
that's another team
Rams.
that's dealing with yeah, the Rams,
Yeah,
but
they
they're
played the
that's also
Rams.
another team that's dealing with a lot of injuries, and
Yeah.
that does make you trash. I mean, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it does make you a team that you want to stay away from.
Yeah.
But okay. Well, having said that, let's take a look at this tier. We got the Falcons, Giants, Lions, Jets, and Jacks. Is there anyone that we're looking here to upgrade? I
Um,
don't
I don't
think so.
know. I don't know. I mean, Detroit didn't win. The Jets look stinky. The Jags won. That's something. I think you put the
They got
Jags.
their first win.
I think you put the Jags above the Jets. Maybe they've been more competitive, I'd say, than the
I put them
Jets.
above the Lions,
Yeah,
to
you
be
could put them
honest. The
above the Lions
Lions,
too. I'm not even
also the
sure.
Lions did
The
nothing.
Giants, like, it sucks for the
Lions
Giants
had this
though.
whole. Go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say the Giant. It sucks for the Giants because they got so many players missing. That's it. Like they're missing their
Yeah,
best player, or a couple of their
yeah.
best players to be exact.
No,
So
it's true. And then you said the guard as well were out, so it's
yeah,
like
left tackles out.
it's a team that they played like crap, but understandably so.
Yeah,
The Lions though, the Lions, all the hype of this, like, oh, we're gonna take the first win, and they showed up and did absolutely nothing. It was kind of
yeah,
like the Lions that we've been expecting. It wasn't really the Lions that are like so close to win. No,
yeah,
that was a very very not a good game. So I'm
yeah,
okay putting the Jacks above these three, and the
yeah.
Falcons didn't play, so
Yeah,
nothing else
Detroit
to
were
do with the
bad,
Falcons.
man. Like the line was so off. The spread was so off on Sunday. We were talking about it, and it was -4 to the Bengals. And I was just thinking in my head. I remember saying it like on our live, like, how's this only -4? Like Detroit are
Yeah.
0-5, and the Bengals are like one of the best teams in their division. How it doesn't line up at all, and they got absolutely smoked. Detroit looks crap. The Bengals looked really good. Yeah, Detroit just. I mean, it's weird. They come into games at the end, and that's when the game's already over. They're not
Yeah.
gonna. I don't. I just feel like they never feel like they're gonna win. And it's weird because every single week I see people on Twitter being like, "Oh, I'm putting a bet on the Lions to win this week." Like, you're losing so much money betting on them every single week. Like, I would not bet on these guys at all. It's always against them. Who have they even got this week? The Lions. They have the Rams, so they have no hope there. So I have seen people put stupid bets on there, but I guess against the
Well,
spread, I
because
think they're
they're
-12. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I guess like if you're banking on them to get a win, it's like every week you're betting on the Lions to win, and every next week you bet the double amount that you bet the week before
I mean,
until eventually it
it's
lands, unless they go 0-16.
I think it's smarter to put your money on a bet saying the Lions won't win the rest of their games. I would put like $10 on that rather than $10 every single week, like
That's true.
hoping that it
That's true.
lands.
That's true.
So yeah,
Again, don't take betting advice from me. So
yeah,
that's
or
I
me.
think that's where we land.
Yeah,
Yours
exactly.
is a bit more sad because like you're still there but not really, and then me, I'm just like completely
Off.
blatant, like completely wrong. Um.
Yeah,
Anyways, all right. So yeah, the Falcons, we don't move them. They didn't
they
play.
didn't play. Yeah.
Um. Let's talk about these other batch of teams.
Dolphins got to go down, man. I think before we move on to the next tier, we're going to the next tier, but Dolphins got to go down. They suck. They
I mean,
stink.
we talked about it. We
Yeah,
said it last week. We brought
yeah,
them down. We said if they stink against the Jags, they should go down. And you know, Tua is a quarterback that you despise. The only thing I like is fantasy wise because the guy gets you the 20
yeah,
plus
yeah,
points.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's kind of like the whole Lions thing. Like he came and got the touchdowns later in the game, and it's like, okay, stat wise, you get
Yeah.
it, cool, fantasy, I'll play him. But you're right, he's not a clutch quarterback, and the Dolphins are looking for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I
So
think they
uh,
looked worse with him at the helm rather than Jacoby Brissett. A couple times that Jacoby was at the helm, they were in games. Whereas with Tua, like this is the Jags we're talking about. The Texans blew out the Jags, and suddenly Miami are getting like smacked by the Jags. It makes no sense. Yeah, this team's a mess, and their only hope of resurrection is if Deshaun Watson does come. I think he does come. The sources are pretty reliable. The two guys who named it are like two of the top guys in the NFL to kind of like listen to about Houston sports. They kind of don't tweet unless they're almost certain
Oh
of
yeah.
it. So yeah, Mark Berman is a guy who kind of like, he is never wrong. I've never seen a tweet from him wrong. He is the most trusted source like in Houston. So that's why he hasn't said anything about the situation until now. So that's why I'm kind of like leaning towards, Deshaun Watson definitely leaving. But who knows? I mean, there's a third team involved, which is the Washington football team, where Tua will be going, which we know of as well. So it's a 3-team trade, apparently. I think that does help out Washington. I think he's probably a bit better with Tua than Heineke. Obviously, Miami gets better, and then who knows with the Texans? I think they don't get any better. I think it's kind of long-term picks wise. Probably first-round pick for the next couple years. But yeah, Dolphins have to go down. I wouldn't be surprised to see them further down this tier after this weekend. This coming weekend, who are they playing? Let me see. Are they even playing this weekend? I don't think they're playing this weekend. Oh, they're playing the Falcons. So I think if they lose to the Falcons, they're sliding down even more.
Oh, that's nice.
So,
Look at that. It works out perfectly.
yeah, and
We
I think
kept bringing them down
yeah,
until they eventually met their
and
foe.
I think they play the Texans in the week after. Yeah, not this weekend,
No, they
not
play
next
the
weekend, the weekend
Bills.
after. 3 weekends
Okay.
away. So they could really be, where the Detroit Lions and Jets are, 0-5.
Dude, it's almost like this is scripted, man. Imagine Deshaun Watson playing against the Texans. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, it would be. I think he would smack them so hard. I think he'd throw for about
I
20 touchdowns.
just picked up Will Fuller in one of our leagues. I was like,
Oh
you know what?
really?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep this boy until he
Will
gets
Fuller with
back. If he gets
Deshaun
to
Watson
Watson,
is a deadly combo. That's for
yeah,
sure. Yeah.
exactly. That made
Um.
it a glass Fuller. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right.
Um.
Broncos, Eagles, Saints, Patriots, and Washington.
Mm,
Start with the Broncos. Broncos, to me, they keep proving that they are the overrated team that they were, overinflated based on their rankings. So I have no intention of moving them up.
mm,
They're playing against the Browns today. The only reason why we would move them up is if we look at other teams and see if we move them down.
yeah.
Eagles played against the Bucks. Expected they had a good fight-ish towards the end. It was getting a
Yeah.
bit close, but it's kind of like that Lions mentality again. That's why I personally I know you guys are giving me trash for saying that Lamar is trash, but the reason why I said Lamar is trash is because he puts himself in situations where you need to chase the game,
Yeah.
unlike the one with the Chargers. And to me, that's not a good thing. I mean, you're not supposed to be relying on your defense that much.
Mm,
And well, say not to go on Lamar. I'm not comparing Lamar to Jalen Hurts by all means, but yeah, I mean, I don't see moving any of these two teams up. I don't know how they face against each other, to be honest. Saints had a bye week, so can we really even move them?
no.
And Patriots and Washington. I mean, Patriots are they're
Patriots
looking
put up a
okay.
good fight against the Cowboys. It was a
What a crazy
close
game
game.
ending.
It was a close game.
Holy.
Yeah.
7 lead changes in that
Yeah.
game, and 3 or 4 of them, I think 4 touchdowns in the last 5 minutes, I think it was.
Nuts. Yeah.
Insane. I think the Patriots have what it take under Bill Belichick. Mac Jones is I think you guys said it. He's probably the best of the rookie quarterbacks right now.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
his accuracy is on point.
Yeah.
I'd personally like to move him up a little bit. Still not up, maybe. I mean, we're still got to see as they move up. But I prefer them over Washington.
I do too. Washington got absolutely mauled by the Chiefs, who are really struggling. Like, the Chiefs are not good right now, and they still got absolutely messed around. They only scored 13 points again. Like, the Chiefs don't really have too much of an issue scoring. It's more of a defensive issue. They just can't stop people scoring, and they stopped Washington basically from scoring. So yeah, I put New England up there. They're definitely putting up a fight. I mean, this tier list, we take into consideration how much of a fight you put up versus just like straight L's. The Patriots have like kind of had close games for the last 3 weeks. The Bucks, the Texans, and now the Dallas Cowboys all were very, very close games, whether they lost them or won them. So they put up fights, and they came up clutch against the Texans. They didn't quite make it against the Cowboys, but the gulf in talent between Cowboys and the Patriots is huge, but they still managed to keep it close. So props to them for that.
Yep. Okay, yeah, I'm down to leave him there.
Yeah.
Moving on to the underdog contender. I don't know about you, but I don't see a lot of movement here either yet.
Mhm.
Maybe the Bengals and the Colts. Bengals are looking good, but then again, they were playing against the Lions.
Yeah. You can
Um,
say the
but
same
they
for the
are a good
Colts
team though.
though against the Texans. They play against the
That's true.
Texans.
You're right. You're absolutely right. But the Colts have been having a nice kind of run at it,
Right.
and with Jonathan Taylor's just beasting.
Right.
Um, or maybe it's the O line. Most likely it's the O line.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the Panthers. They lost, and they have
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey out for another 2 weeks at
They
least.
put up a good fight though, the
They did.
Panthers.
They did. And the Bears lost. So I'd be inclined to move the Bengals above the Bears maybe, but I don't know. I mean, the Bears did play the Packers.
Yeah. It was I mean, it's a tough
Still
game for a
own you.
rookie. Yeah. Yeah.
Still own.
It's it's Aaron Rodgers. Like you're gonna. I feel like most of these teams are gonna have like their asses kicked by Aaron Rodgers, no matter how good
Yeah.
your defense is. You just can't keep him and Devontae Adams down. They're just too good.
Yeah.
So I on that basis, I'm not sure. Would I move them down, up, down? Because I feel like looking at quarterbacks, Justin Fields and Joe Burrow are very similar. Both played on the same team. Justin Fields won over him at Ohio State as the quarterback job. I think they're quite similar. Wide receivers, I think Bengals edge it.
I'll stop you right there. Quick second. We have Prim Uta coming up with a fantasy question. We are going to talk about the game, but we're more than happy to make you some suggestions here. So he has Darrell Williams or Dearness Johnson.
Mm,
Who are the Chiefs playing?
uh,
The Titans.
yeah.
That's gonna be a feast. You know what's interesting though? It's I'm so sorry, Clyde Edwards-Helaire owners, but it's so devastating to see how the Chiefs used Darrell Williams that game
I think
so
Darrell
much.
Williams is better than Edwards-Helaire, though. I think
But
that
it
he
on top
came.
of that though,
Yeah, true, but
the script is insane.
yeah, but at the same time, I think he's more efficient. That's why probably they're using him more.
Okay.
I don't think
Yeah.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is like an every down back and he just can't grind out yards,
Okay.
whereas Darrell Williams is very much you can use him first down, second down, third down.
Yeah.
And Dearness Johnson, I would go Darrell Williams just based on last
Um,
week. Dearness Johnson also has Felton to compete with, and also I don't know.
The thing is,
There's not much
the
tape
risk.
on him. Yeah.
Yeah, the risk of going for Dearness Johnson, like I'd rather see Dearness Johnson with 20 in my bench than seeing Darrell Williams in my bench with 20.
Yeah.
Is with Dearness, you're not just you can't assume that you're gonna run the same things that you do with Baker because now you have Case Keenum
Yeah. Different
and
quarterback.
you have Jarvis Landry coming back, who's a pretty decent receiver.
Mm,
There's just so many unknowns in that team with all the injuries.
yeah.
He's okay. So Premium says I think Darrell Williams has a higher chance or more reliable. I feel like I'll miss out on Dearness. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if these are your only two choices, I'd stick to the safe. I mean, you're saying it yourself. It's more reliable.
Mm-hmm.
And look, if you miss out on Dearness, then you miss out on Dearness. It's fine. Maybe you plug him in
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah. Also,
Cam Hunt
Dearness,
is out.
he's going to be out. Dearness is going to be gone by next week. I think Chubb is back next week. So
You
'cause
think?
this is a Thursday night game. It was way too soon for Chubb. He has the whole 9 days to recover for the next game. He's not on IR, which means it's not going to be 3 games or more. This is his second game out. If they thought he was going to be out for 3 games, they'd have put him on IR. So all the signs point to Chubb coming back. Dearness will not see the ball again once he's back, and then once Hunt is off of IR, he's just going to be pushed all the way back into probably like practice squad. Darrell Williams, I really think is going to fight for that starting position at Kansas City because Clyde Edwards-Helaire has done absolutely nothing. Take a shot with Darrell Williams. The upside is way higher. I think the floor is way higher. Everything points to Darrell Williams.
Okay, so here's Here's a question then, because I agree with you. I would go with Darrell Williams. Also, the
Yeah.
matchup against the Titans is going to be a
Tough.
touchdown
Yeah,
fest.
yeah, yeah.
So, Titans D is not the best.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so question for you: if you were in this position, first of all, ideally knowing that you weren't going to start Dearness, you wouldn't have picked him up. Right now, if you keep Dearness Johnson in your bench, he's locked in your bench, right? You can't drop him. Would you, if you're assuming you're going to start Daryl, would you just drop Dearness and have that extra free for maybe a Saturday, Sunday pickup for a kicker that you may need, or a defense that you may need, or even another player that you may need? Because if he's disappearing, according to
Yeah.
you, then you're dropping him, right?
Yeah,
He's not a
I didn't
not a
even
handcuff.
put him on my waivers this week because I knew he would probably have one maybe more good game in him, and then he's gone. Whereas Darrell, if it was the choice between those two, it's very clear it's Williams. I think
Yeah.
Dernest is. Well, I mean, we'll see tonight. It's very difficult to say. We've only seen him for one game, as towards like the end of the
Yeah.
game, basically. So yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling. I have a funny feeling Broncos may be out in front of this game, and
Okay.
the rushing for the Browns may not be needed. And
I agree.
plus, he's not a pass catching running back during this. That goes to Felton, whereas Darrell Williams is both pass catching and running. So I think we sorted it out. I think Premium's put in another comment. He said, "I'm set on Pitts, Kyle Pitts, and would you start Pitts or Goddard?" I really like Goddard, but I think Matt Ryan will go back to Pitts. I 100% agree. This is not me being biased because I own Pitts, but the last time the Falcons played was massive breakout game for Kyle Pitts. They don't have a hard matchup this weekend. They're fully rested. If Calvin Ridley does not play, I think Pitts is a must start. Whereas if Calvin Ridley does play, I think Goddard and
I'd
Pitts
still play
are
him.
so and so. They're close together.
Yeah.
But Pitts to me is a start tight end one. Start him every single week because he gets
Yeah.
the volume. He gets the 9 to 12 targets. It's just whether Matt Ryan can get the ball in his hands or not. Whereas Goddard is never going to see 9 to 12 targets every single game. So stick with Kyle Pitts. He's a rookie. He's going to be learning. He's going to have some lower games. He's going to have some explosive games like last weekend. Yeah, I'm a homer of Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. No, I agree. And even if Calvin Ridley does come back, I think Pitts made his point.
Yeah.
That,
Well,
hey,
also when Calvin Ridley was playing, he got more targets than Calvin Ridley. He's got more
Yeah.
targets through the first 4 weeks, I think it was, than Calvin Ridley does. So that
Also,
kind of shows you.
yeah, and also if you look at it, I mean, at the end of the day, Dallas Goddard is coming back from COVID reserve, so that's also something that you want to kind of like, sadly, in today's era, you think of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Premium, thank you for the questions. Give us a sub if you like if our answers, and maybe if we're right,
Yeah. Come back
We'd
on
appreciate it.
Sunday night and see if we were correct. If Darrell Williams explodes.
And Pitts. And
Yeah,
Pitts.
and Pitts. Yeah.
But yeah, feel free to keep asking. We're just gonna keep on moving here. Where were we? We were Bengals and Bears.
Yeah. I say
um,
let's give. I would give Chicago another week and the Bengals another week. Bengals have Ravens.
Bengals are against Ravens.
Because
Yeah,
I think I
see that.
remember saying to you the other week, let's wait to see what we do with the Chargers and Ravens. I think you wanted to put Chargers up a tier, and I said, wait, the Ravens are coming up. Let's see what happens. I think we were right to wait and see because we would be putting them back down if we had put them up. So let's see what they do, how much of a fight they put up against the Ravens if they win, and then the Bears. Who do they have? Bears have Bucks, so both of them have very tough matchups. So we might not be moving them at all. But if one wins over the other, I think I think that's what we can do. But for now,
Yeah.
I'm happy leaving Bengals and Chicago there. Everyone kind of stays the same. Steelers, they won, but it wasn't convincing. Keep them down there. They need to string together a couple wins. They got a bye week this week, so Steelers can stay where they are. We'll see what they're like coming into week 8. Who are the Steelers have week 8? Let me see. Can't remember. Well, my phone's not letting me see. So
Browns.
they're playing the Browns. Well, that's a perfect time to put up the Steelers if they beat the Browns. Although the Browns are kind of like regressing a little bit, but we'll talk about the Browns when we come to them. San Francisco.
Okay, so you agree to leave the Steelers there?
Yeah, leave the
they were,
Steelers where they are. They played well, but they didn't play anything.
but it was a
convincing.
and also it was against a very deteriorated Seahawks team.
Yeah, exactly.
So All right. San Francisco. Well, they were on bye, so they're back.
Yeah,
Um, can't really move them down, but I would
as much
expect
as
them
I'd
to
want
go
to.
down. I know. I
As
would
much as
expect them
I'd
to go
want
down.
to
Who are they
want them to
playing?
go down.
Um,
49ers are playing the Colts, so that's a good kind of like inter. We can either move the Colts up a little bit more and then
that's
the
true.
Niners down or whatever.
I'm
I see,
starting the Colts defense, man, and I mean,
you know
that's how
what
confident
though?
I am.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think the Niners put up many points, and also the Colts have a really good defense. But at what point do we move the Seahawks down? They lost to the Steelers. They're not a very good team.
You know what? The thing is, if this was a Russell Wilson struggling team, I would be a bit more hesitant. But this
Yeah,
is a team that does not have Russell Wilson for quite some time. And
yeah,
they're looking at even calling Camp Newton, I think it was the rumors
yeah.
that
I
I
picked
heard.
them up in a dynasty
Um,
league.
hey, I mean, you never know. I remember one of my first leagues. I was like, I heard rumors of Colin Kaepernick coming up, and I picked them up.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, you never know with these things. But
Yeah,
dude, I agree. I think this team looked quite bad, although they did come back to the Steelers to put up a fight. It's just
they
look if,
lost
if
two
you
weeks
have
in a row
Tyler,
now.
yeah, if
That's
you
my
have Tyler
issue.
Lockett in your fantasy,
Or
I'm
DK.
sorry. DK was okay. DK was all right. It's Lockett, man.
Yeah.
Lockett did not put points until the end. I think Lockett is actually a great trade target right now
Mm.
for like trade low. Kind of like
Yeah.
Adam Thielen, man. This should be my job.
Yeah.
I tried poach Adam Thielen from a guy and I tried and tried and he was like I threw him like a really low like value for Thielen and he was like he even messaged me he's like there must be something he told me there must be something I'm missing because you want Thielen and I don't know why. I'm thinking it's because something's coming, and I'm like, I mean, not really. I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm willing to take the risk. I'm willing to put him in my bench one more week and see where he goes, and he exploded. So
Yeah.
those are the trades that you're looking to get to try and do. Look at the AJ Browns, the Tyler Lockett's, the like I said, Adam Thielen,
Robert
even Calvin
Woods.
Ridley, Robert Woods. You know, all of these that like are not exploding as much as some would expect. Go get them in your lineups.
Yeah.
Back to Seahawks. I'm down to
Because
pull them
the
down.
thing I was thinking though is because they lost against the Rams, who we ranked as the best team, which is fair enough. But losing against the Steelers, who is a tier below, and they're an underdog contender. You can't be losing to underdog contenders and be a good challenger, in my eyes, anyway.
That's true.
And it's not looking bright for them going forward. So Chris Carson's on IR, Russell Wilson's on IR. I would put the Steelers above them, and I actually would drop the Hawks all the way down to where the were between. I'd probably actually put them like in between Colts and Panthers if I had the choice, because that's how low I am on them right now. I think the Colts would beat the
Damn.
Seahawks. I think the Bengals would beat the Seahawks. I think everyone. I mean, the Steelers
I
did
mean,
beat the Seahawks, so we can
look,
wait another week.
I'm
But
gonna try and be a bit generous to kind of like stick to our whole premise of like dropping the material is already a big punishment.
yeah,
I want to see what they do with the quarterback situation. I want to see what they do with the running back situation.
mm.
Alex Collins seems a little injured. I just dropped him, so feel free to pick him
Who
up.
the heck
I
is
know
the
they're
third
looking
running
into
back or fourth
Rashad
running
Penny,
back?
baby.
Oh God,
Rashad Penny's coming back.
he is like the
uh,
bottom feeder
yeah.
of the team.
So it's gonna be yeah. It's a weird one, but
Yeah,
they'll probably keep going down. But for
yeah,
now, let's leave us this.
yeah.
Raiders.
Raiders. What do we do with the Raiders?
What do
They're
we do with the Raiders? I mean, they won.
that's just not they're just not convincing enough
No,
anymore. It's
no.
like when they went 3-0, I was like, damn, like so this is like a sick team. And then they kind of went on the
Even
slump, and then they came back against the Broncos, but
yeah.
still,
And even
um,
then, like their next matchup is against the Eagles, and I'm like, if even if they beat the Eagles, do I even want to move them up?
yeah,
And then they're on a bye week,
they're not
and
they're
then they
not
play the
better. Yeah,
Giants.
they're not better than any of the teams above them. And I think the
Yeah.
Vikings, you got to stay. I think that whole tiny tier we don't move, but I think people do have to drop in the next tier. Um,
Yeah.
and
Wait, who?
I think it's the Browns.
Okay.
I think the Browns are struggling a lot. I would, I was tempted to put Kansas City down this week, but you know what's really throwing me off about Kansas City is they're still like the favorites to get out of that division, which is crazy considering how bad they've been. But they
People just
won
don't want
this
to let it
week.
go.
Chargers lost this week. Chargers looked so freaking bad. Like they looked worse than Kansas City have looked. They didn't score any more than 6 points. So I would move the Browns down on the premise that they lost, right? Yeah, they lost handily to the Cardinals, and now
So
have no running backs. OBJ is out. Baker Mayfield is out. They've got some O-line and defensive line out. It's not looking good for them at all.
yeah, I mean OBJ out doesn't really mean jack.
Just
It's not like he
depth
has
wise
done
though.
anything.
Depth wise though.
True,
Um,
but I look at it and put it next to the Vikings who they beat, and I think that's where they fit right now. I
yeah.
totally agree. I think even the problem is that this team has shown that without that the team is, apart from defense, because defense is pretty, they do have a pretty decent defense, even though they let up like 40 plus points against the Chargers. But this team is not Baker Mayfield. It's not Jarvis. It's not Njoku. No, it's two guys, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. If both are injured, then what the hell do you do?
Yeah.
You know, so
Tough.
I'm down to see what they do with Felton and Dearness Johnson. If they
Yeah.
can carry it up enough, no pun intended, you know, we'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
But I agree, and I also do want to bring it down just because it was visually unappealing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's not a lot of movement, quite a bit of movement in the next tier.
Okay, so this is my thing. I don't know how much, but here's what I think. Chargers need to go under the Cowboys and Ravens at least. Titans need to go up a bit. Chiefs, they won, but I'm still iffy about it. So this is what I would do. This is what I would do.
Yeah,
I would
move the
up the
Titans
Ravens.
up above Dallas, just because Dallas have had an easy ass schedule and really struggled against the Patriots, whereas the Titans finally, with everyone with more and more people coming back every week for the Titans, they're looking steadily better and better and better, and like they beat the best defense in the league. Period. Like they beat the best defense in the league. Henry's just unstoppable.
What a guy. What a guy.
Yeah, and with him on your team, and you know, if you get Ryan Tannehill going, that team is unstoppable. But that's
the thing, though.
Seen.
That's the thing. This team is kind of like a Browns on steroids. You know, you have Derrick Henry completely overtaking, Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
And then you have like a mediocre quarterback just trying to make it like through. But Ryan Tannehill is a little bit more experienced and a lot better than Baker Mayfield. So I agree. I would still disagree just because of the current way that the Cowboys have been winning, and same with the Titans. But yeah, no, go ahead. I'll take over for a few seconds.
No, it's
good?
okay. It's okay. I was
Okay.
ordering my pizza.
Perfect. Getting ready.
Oh, you're ordering off my phone. Sorry. Yeah, I'll just.
No, I can order it outside.
Okay. Sorry about that. Ordering pizza issues.
No.
The logistics of ordering
no
pizza.
worries. No worries.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I like that tier as it is. Titans are looking good. Ravens are looking way better than I thought they were, especially after being decimated at running back, which is such an important offensive position. I guess you don't really need a running back when you have Lamar Jackson.
Last week they showed that they didn't need one.
Yeah, true.
I mean, sorry, no, sorry. I'll take that back. They showed that they didn't need Lamar to run the ball.
Yeah.
Because Latavius had a big game.
Yeah, he did. He's weird, though. He has those games where he'll run for like 30, 40 yards, and then another game he'll run for like 100 plus 2 touchdowns and 3 catches.
But
it's crazy.
This is such a weird team to see. Like, you have Lamar Jackson, the young stud, running and doing all these things.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, you're like, yeah, let's just give it to Le'Veon Bell, Devonta Freeman, and Latavius Murray. You know, like
weird. So it's like an all-star running back committee, but they're all so old. But yeah, and the Chargers just kind of like stunk up the entire thing. Kansas City won, but not quite ready to put them up yet. Let's see what they do in the
Yeah, I mean
coming
they
weeks.
lost against the Chargers and the
Yeah.
Cowboys. I personally do think the Cowboys can put up a fight and actually beat these two teams,
Mm.
but I do agree with you that they haven't been challenged yet.
Plus, they've been playing at home, dude.
Um,
They played like 3 or 4 games straight at home. Like it's
well, not this one. This one was
yeah, but the
at
previously they had 3 weeks,
at the
3 weeks
Gillette,
at
right?
home. So yeah, this one was at Gillette Stadium again, but it's against New England. Like
Yeah.
it's a very very. Although we've sung their praises, they're not like a contender team. Unlike the Titans, who like beat like the AFC like
True.
out and out.
True,
That
true,
should be
true, true.
the nominee for the Super Bowl for the AFC. So. Speaking of which, that we can go to the top tier now. Your boys are there. The Green Bay Packers are the bottom. How are you feeling
Let's go,
about them being
baby.
the bottom of that kind of
I
tier?
hate it. I
You
hate
hate
it. I
it.
feel like I feel like you guys just don't understand that winning by 20 is the same as winning by 3.
Right.
And I think, you'll get the points on you, you get the win anyway. And I think the Packers are one of the most composed team in the league
Mm.
that I trust. No matter who you put up in front of them, they'll put up they're not gonna get smoked. Let's put the week 1 aside,
Week
but
one
they're not
away.
gonna get
Yeah.
that never happened. But they're a team that their defense is looking a lot better. They keep signing new, but I think that's more because of injuries. But they're looking a lot better defense wise.
Mm.
Offense is there. Randall Cobb is showing like a nice scary weapon since who was it that
Houston.
MVS went down?
Oh, sorry. I was
No,
gonna
no, but
say Houston.
yeah, MVS went
Yeah.
down.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, look, Packers keep winning. Bills lost. I would flip him. Back again. I mean, we might be going back and forth until this, but you said it with the Bills that the reason why we didn't put the Bills up top was because they haven't played a strong, team so far.
Mm.
Not that hard. And the second they did, they lost.
Yeah.
Bear, they kept up, but the defense showed like, hey, it can be beaten. So I didn't get anything good out of the Bills, but I got a lot of good out of the Packers as usual. So I would move the Packers up. The other three to me are like I would just put them in a tier on their own. I feel
Mm.
like this is perfect. I feel like the top three are in their own tier, and then
Mm.
these two, Bills and Packers, are like fighting to get for the last fourth spot there.
Right. Yeah.
What do you
I
think?
I agree with you. You got to put the Bills down here
Let's go,
because
baby.
yeah, I mean the Packers have won more games. The Packers are I look forward to Tuesday so much because Aaron Rodgers gets interviewed by Pat McAfee on his show, and I just love listening to Aaron Rodgers like dissect the game and talk about stuff that we never like normally hear from a quarterback. No one gets interviewed like Aaron Rodgers does. Doesn't go on no one. You can't name a single quarterback that goes on like a podcast every week who has so many listeners and everything and is so candid and so kind of like understanding. Even again after that horrible week 1 loss, Aaron Rodgers was there to be interviewed by Pat McAfee, which is awesome. I
Yep.
love Aaron Rodgers, best quarterback for sure in the entire league. And it's just the rest of the team of the Green Bay Packers that you kind of need to be worried about more so on the defensive side. Although, defensively, they've been actually pretty solid the past couple of weeks, getting really timely interceptions and takeaways. But, compared to the defense of like Arizona, the Rams, and Buffalo especially, they're just not quite on that
Yeah.
level. But offensively, they're definitely there. Anything can happen when Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers connect. Yeah, I mean, Arizona are Arizona. I just don't think you can move these teams unless another team loses. Although they're
Yeah.
6-0,
No.
but like this week they're playing the Texans. Like I don't want to move them because they beat the Texans. Like big whoop. But the Bucks
And the Rams look good.
yeah,
The Rams look good again.
and the Rams are playing
Bucks.
Detroit, so that'll be like a win. The Bucks are playing someone
Yeah.
difficult or semi-difficult, I think, weren't they? Oh no, they're playing
I think
someone
they're also
easy.
playing the Bears. They're playing the Bears. They're all
Oh, they're
playing
the Bears?
like
Okay. So I don't think there's going to be much movement this week, but this is what we're going to probably see for the next couple of weeks until we get that the matchups between these teams. So I think in a couple of weeks we get Arizona and the Rams playing again. I'm pretty sure Green Bay plays Bills at week 8, isn't it? Is it week
no
9?
way. They play the Cardinals week 8.
Cardinals week 8. That's the one. Yeah. So next weekend is
So-
going to be a huge weekend
Yeah.
of this tier movement. Especially for the Cardinals because there's something iffy about them and I don't know what it is and I can't wait to see them up against like the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
So
No, I mean,
let's
look,
see.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Packers, and besides the Seahawks, this is a team that they could easily just keep going up in rankings purely based on whether they win all their tough matchups. I mean, you
Yeah,
said it yourself. They have one of the toughest schedules in the league. They get to play the Rams in week 12. So they get to play the Cardinals in week 8.
yeah.
Do they get to play the Bucks again?
Who?
The Packers, like again, as in like last year.
I can't remember. I don't think so.
So we got Bills Buccaneers on week 14. That's gonna be nice.
No, Packers don't play the Bucks.
Packers Ravens, Packers Browns. Damn, there's no Packers Bucks.
Yeah, no Packers Bucks. Washington
All
this
right,
week.
well,
Yeah.
that's good. Well,
I
they
mean, they
will
still
we'll
got
beat
the
the Cards and
Vikings
we'll
and
beat the
stuff
Rams.
though. Vikings are, although they're somewhat struggling, they've never been wiped out. They're like the one team in this league where you can say they didn't lose handily to someone apart from Arizona. Like they've been,
Yeah,
whether they win or lose, it is like a 3 point game every single week without a doubt. And then they have the Rams, the Seahawks could put up a fight somewhat. Ravens, Browns, Vikings again. They have a very tough schedule, kind of like from here on out. After this weekend against Washington, they don't really have like an easy team until January 9th of next year, which is the Detroit Lions. So this is kind of like the, I don't know.
I ain't scared, boy. To beat the best, you gotta
Yeah,
beat
I
the
mean,
best.
yeah, of course, but at the same time, you don't want this kind of regular season trying to play every single top team. You kind of want to
True,
save that for the playoffs because you
true,
don't
true,
want
true,
your
true, true.
best players banged up because Devontae Adams is getting, got Jalen Ramsey up against and Richard Sherman and all these top,
That's
DBs.
true.
So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think this is, like I said, week 8 onwards, NFL is going to get spicy. So not just for the Packers, but for every single team. It's kind of like
Uh,
interdivision gets a little bit more exciting. But
no,
yeah,
I agree. I like this. I like this rankings. I still think the Rams are the best team in the league. Um,
yeah, I think so
and like you
too.
said, until we see something different.
I want to say Darrell Henderson has looked phenomenal
Yeah,
since Cam Akers kind of went down. He
yeah.
has been what, top 5 running back, fantasy wise anyway, top
I
5,
think
right?
so. He's doing really well, dude. Like
Insane,
honestly,
insane. So props to
good. Yeah, he's
Matthew
rewarding
Stafford
every.
for making him this
Yeah,
good.
he's rewarding everyone that took a
Drafted him.
chance in
Yeah, I
drafting
think
him.
I
Yeah,
drafted him 7th round, so
yeah.
kind of late for a top tier
Yeah.
running back.
Well, yeah, but then you get the Cooper Cubs and the freaking Mike Williams like top, so it's kind of insane. But anyway, so that's gonna be our tiers.
Yeah,
Look, we have 25 minutes.
yeah,
20
25
minutes. When does the game start? Yeah.
8:20. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the game.
Mm.
Um,
God, this game sucks.
do you want to talk about the game?
Not really.
Um,
Yeah, this
like
game blows.
this game is just like so unpredictable. Like I don't know what to think of it. I think I put the money line the Broncos just because why not?
Mm.
It's a Thursday game. Who knows? I just don't know what to expect from the Browns.
Who's at
Do
home?
you? I think Browns.
Is it Browns? I think it's
Yeah, Browns.
raining. I think it's raining in
Yeah,
Cleveland.
it was windy. Like did I say the diagnostic? No, how do you call
The
the
forecast?
weather forecast? Wow.
Diagnostic.
The
Yeah, it's
the
raining.
diagnostic. The forecast was windy. I guess now it's raining. So
Yeah.
definitely okay. So let's start with my bet.
All right.
Let's talk about my bet.
Let's
First of all,
analyze this.
it includes some runs with baseball. So we'll forget about that. But I have one interception from each quarterback. So I
I think
got
that's
Teddy Bridgewater over 0.5 interceptions. Case Keenum over 0.5. Case Keenum, I remember all of his interceptions, and I have an over of 39.5, which I'm kind of scared now with the weather.
I think these
Um,
like this is just gonna be like a messy game, where I think there's gonna be kind of a lot of points scored.
I hope. And I have Noah Fant and Tim Patrick both for 3.5 receptions, which now I'm also scared about with the rain.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if this is gonna be an interception kind of game, you think there's gonna be a couple pick sixes or at least good field goal range. You know, it's
Yeah,
not gonna be like
but
fourth down punt, fourth down punt, fourth down punt.
how bad is it raining? Is it raining by a lot?
I don't think so. But Cleveland weather, even if it's rain, wind, whatever. But last week, you know, in Cleveland, the wind was really bad, and there was an insane amount of points. So
Dude, I'm
I
just
don't
worried
think
about
it
receptions
matters.
now. Like not the points. I'm worried more about the Noah fan and Tip Patrick. 8
Should have put
receptions.
Cortland Sutton on,
Total.
man. That was my like nailed on. Cortland Sutton's coming back to
Four,
being wide receiver one.
4.5.
I think. What's the yards on that actually? 70? 60, 70? Or even a touchdown. I think a touchdown. He scored a touchdown 2 weeks in a row now.
To player receiving yards. Cortland Sutton, 64.5.
Yeah, I would have put rather that than receptions. He's kind of like the deeper threat, medium to deep
Dearness,
threat.
Dearness Johnson, 55.5 seems doable with the rain.
Yeah, I just don't know. Putting a bet on Dearness Johnson is like putting on a bet for like a rookie in his first ever game. Like you don't know what you're
True.
gonna get. You have no idea.
You know what? I'm not gonna panic. I'm gonna stick to what I put.
Yeah, of
No
course.
offense,
No, yeah. Like
Patrick.
this, I feel as though this game is just way too difficult to predict for like player prop bets because both teams are like dealing with injuries and like weird situations. So it's not like we can look at previous games to judge it
Yeah.
by. It's all very like new, if you will.
Yeah. I mean, do you start Jarvis Landry comfortably? I don't.
No.
MCL.
Out of everyone, all the wide receivers in Cleveland, I would pick Donovan Peoples-Jones. The
That's not bad.
only
Not
healthy
bad
wide
call.
receiver. He's put up decent numbers. He's still on our waiver wire in our league. I was thinking of dropping Odell Beckham and picking him up, but I honestly don't think I really want a Cleveland wide receiver anymore. Like it's just like a hit or miss every single week.
Yeah. No, I'm just. It sucks. The only reason why I'm starting a player from this game is because I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
But if I were to avoid one, I'm avoiding it. You know,
Yeah.
I think I'm starting Felton.
Mm.
Yeah. This is when
In the
when I
wide
was talking
receiver
about Felton, I'm
slot.
starting. Yeah, I'm starting Felton in the wide receiver slot
Yeah.
because he can, wide receiver and running back. Over Tim Patrick.
Yeah. Well, I'm starting Cortland Sutton. I think he's a must start
Yeah.
every single week. So, especially with Jerry Jeudy still out, he's the number one player, number one target. So
Yeah, my issue in this league is like I am beasting in running back. I have Leonard Fournette, Joe Mixon, and Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
So those three are gonna give me 60 points every week at least, easy peasy. My wide receivers though, I have Mike Williams, so I'm not complaining, but he's on a bye week.
yeah.
But for this week I have Tim Patrick, AJ Brown,
Oh.
Brandon Ayuk still is the deep league. Rashad Bateman, who is not a bad, Paul moving forward.
Yeah.
Jarvis Landry, and that's pretty much it. But man, these projections, I need to learn to not look at
Yeah.
projections.
Odell Beckham's playing tonight, so
He's playing?
yeah.
Okay.
He's playing.
So I'm comfortable benching Landry. Okay, but yeah, I'm starting Felton. He has. Yeah, I don't know.
Man,
I don't know, man.
Jalen
I'm
Waddle's
hoping he
project-
takes over Kareem Hunt.
I'm thinking of starting Jalen Waddle this weekend against Atlanta.
Oh, what are your other options?
DK Metcalf, Chris Godwin, Cortland Sutton, or
Oh.
Jalen Waddle. I have no idea.
Oh, I hate that decision.
Yeah, and Derrick Henry
I
and
hate
Darrell
having a-
Henderson starting at running back. So
I hate having Buccaneers teams, man.
yeah, that's the
Buccaneers,
thing is like Chris Godwin's ranked number 24th wide receiver right now, but only had 6.8 points last weekend. Like he is like the definition of up and down. Like he had 19 points, 14 points, 16, and then he like those were the first 3 weeks. Then after that, week 4, 7 points, week 5, 10 points, but relied on a touchdown, and then week 6, 6.8 points. So like since week 4, he has underperformed so much. So I have a feeling that I'm going to be putting Jalen Waddle in against Atlanta or J.D. McKissick against Green Bay if Antonio Gibson sits.
Oh, you're talking about for your flex.
Yes, for flex.
Okay.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
reminded me that Cortland Sutton was playing tonight and he was in my flex, so I quickly swapped him to wide receiver to definitely play.
Take it out. Take it out, because then you can make that decision later.
Exactly.
I think obviously if Antonio Gibson is out, I think you go with pure volume and J.D. McKissick.
Yeah, and he catches all the
But
balls.
I think
so.
But I think Jalen Waddle is actually a really nice start.
Yeah.
I think Tua came back. Just imagine being in his shoes. You come back, injury, your team is doing crap, and you need to rely on someone.
Yeah, Jalen is
In
that
the
guy.
first game back, you relied on Waddle. What do you do next game?
Yeah. Well, they played in
It ain't
college
broke.
together, so that's also a plus. So.
Oh, there you go. And you see what Jamar Chase and Burrow can do.
Exactly.
Is Burrow a first round / like last end of first round, beginning of second round receiver for next year? Do you think?
You mean
Fantasy.
You mean Jamar Chase,
Chase.
not Joe
Sorry.
Burrow?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Oh no, I would put him in the third, fourth round. I think.
I mean, I would pick him over the likes of AJ Brown and Julio Jones right now.
Yeah, but they were third round picks though. In our league, it was between DK Metcalf and AJ Brown in our league for a third round pick. That's why I'm basing this on. I don't think Jamar Chase is quite on DK Metcalf's level yet, just because he's had 4 or 5 good games this season. You gotta look at it over the entire course of the season.
True. But if he keeps this production, if Mike Williams and Cooper Kupp and Jamar Chase keep this production,
yeah,
where do you draft them next year? I draft them above
early third, because he's not on Devontae Adams level, nowhere close. So you can get rid of the first round pick, possibly late second. I think.
I'm thinking I'm gonna get stoned for this, but Tyreek Hill, man, like I just hate having Tyreek Hill in my team. You know, you get a 40 bomber and then you get a 4-point. Like,
yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think that's part and parcel of what you got to take. Also, you have to be careful with Joe Burrow. Still, that injury still concerns me. Coming back from that injury, you're one big hit away from re-injuring the ankle or whatever. I think he takes too many sacks. If Joe Burrow goes down, I think Jamar Chase goes with him, because
true.
It's not. I don't think it'll correlate. I don't even know who the backup at the Bengals is. I think everyone would hurt. So I'm a bit wary on that. I have no idea. It's probably. I actually have no idea. AJ McCarron, maybe.
Brandon Allen.
I think he was at the Texans at one point. Yeah, I don't know. Definitely a backup kind of guy. Doesn't throw much. So
what? Wait, 2021 season stats. Yards 7, touchdown 1.
Nice.
Solid efficiency, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top efficiency.
Draft him, boys. Draft him.
Yeah. So yeah. But we can.
Who else are we looking at? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just thinking of like other guys I draft above him. There's like 2 or 3, like tight ends I'd probably put above.
Like I don't know, dude. It's crazy to see that these Cooper Kupp, Mike Williams are top 1 right now. You know, and
yeah, but also it's early in the year.
Hard.
I still think like this is too early to. I think Cooper Kupp is definitely locked in, but I've been following Mike Williams for so long that he has like these up and down games. Like last week, there was that down game. It was coming. It was coming for sure.
Yeah.
You just have to hope that it doesn't trend towards that almost every other week now. I still think Keenan Allen is the guy in the Chargers. He's just the reliable dude. Mike Williams is the explosive guy. Yeah.
We have a comment by Yadvir. Should I start Gordosh?
I think that means
Gordon.
Josh Gordon, maybe.
Josh Gordon?
Maybe. I can't think of another Gordon. Over Renfro and Bateman, I'd start.
Oh, what, Josh Gordon today? Isn't Josh Gordon in the Chiefs?
Yeah, I mean, but it's like just this week.
No, should I start Gordon today? So which Gordon could it be today?
No idea.
Yadvir, tell us. We're blanking. I'm sorry. Maybe we're thinking about someone. Oh, Melvin Gordon.
Ah, how did
Oh,
we forget
Melvin
that?
Gordon. Okay. Yeah. Today over
Yes.
Renfro and Bateman.
Yes.
Yes, it's gonna be rainy. The weather is not looking pretty for the rush game and sorry for the air game. And the Broncos are a running team. They're a team that they are trying to run it more often than not.
Although Javante
And
Williams is pretty good.
I think you can go with either. But
Yeah.
Renfro, because I'm looking at the options, right? He has Renfro and Rashad
Bateman.
Bateman.
Mm-hmm.
I personally love Rashad Bateman, but he just came back from the injury. Um, he still kind of has to compete with Mark Andrews and Marquise Brown. I think long term Bateman is a nice keep and stash, and see where he goes. Um, and Renfro is interesting. Raiders are interesting.
Renfro is very much touchdown dependent. He is not the kind of guy to get you 100 yards. He is a slot receiver who will catch the odd 5 to 10 yard pass 6 or 7 times a game. Um, but is like if you're wanting 10 plus points, well, I guess it's PPR. If you're wanting 12 plus points, 13 plus points, you're gonna
Yeah, full PPR is light. It's not that bad, but
yeah.
I'd still go for
Melvin Gordon.
Melvin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
for
Yep.
Melvin indeed. The forecast is on your favor. Um, the play line is on your favor. I personally think the Broncos are gonna take the early lead here.
Yeah.
Um, but even then, even without, even if they don't take the lead, the Broncos still run it quite a lot.
Yeah.
So
Well, also he's a pass
I
catching running back. He catches two or
that's it.
three catches per game. So
Which for full PPR, there you go. I think Gordon is the safer play. I think it's kind of like the conversation that we had with Darrell Williams and Dearness Johnson. I'd take the more the risk averse decision
yeah.
per se. And look, Dan and I both think that this is going to be a banger of a game in terms of points. So the points are going to have to go somewhere.
Yeah. For sure.
And there's a slight. So yeah, I would just go with Melvin Gordon. I completely forgot about the running backs in Broncos.
Gordon,
Javante
Javante
Williams and
Williams.
Melvin Gordon.
That's it.
Do you start them? I think you start them comfortably. I mean, you're not expecting 20 points, although Melvin Gordon could get you there.
Yeah.
But at least 10 to 12, 13 points on a Thursday start. That's perfect. I love starting Thursday with a 15-point lead.
Yeah.
On one player.
Yeah.
More than
Exactly.
happy. Quarterbacks, do you start any? Please don't have them in your bench. I mean,
Unless,
unless it's a
unless you're in
double
a 20
quarterback league.
man league or something like that.
Yeah, or like two quarterback league. Like,
Yeah.
no. If you're starting Case Keenum, you're welcome, Yadvir. No problem at all. Leave us a like if you like, and if we're right as well, absolutely, that'd be dope. But yeah, no, Case Keenum. If you're starting Case Keenum, that'd be kudos to you, man. Kudos to whoever does that. Tight ends, we got Njoku, who exploded one week and then got 1 point the
Yeah,
next.
he is the definition of up and down. But they also have Austin
Yeah.
Hooper, which is the problem. Two tight end teams are really difficult to decipher.
Yeah. But Austin Hooper is the one that got the contract to stay there. Like, not to stay there, but they brought Austin Hooper from Atlanta for
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And Njoku always had that kind of like, I don't want to be here, but I do, but I don't, and now
Yeah.
I do.
And with Landry back, I'm
Um,
not really sure how the tight ends fit in, to
yeah.
be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I would tell you not to start him, and if he gives you 20 points in the bench, then sorry. I mean, there's no way I would have expected it.
Yeah.
So if you have a better, a safer call, then go ahead by all means. And in Broncos, Noah Fant, I think is a great start. He's a great quarterback. Again, not give you too many points, but for a very depleted position at tight end,
Yeah.
no, I'd start
Yeah.
Noah
He
Fant.
seems to get like a solid 11 to 12 points for me. 11 to 14, 15 points
Yeah,
with my Dynasty
and
league.
like,
So,
and honestly, that's all I need. As long as I'm not having to worry about a 1 point tight end, I think we're fine.
yeah. Exactly.
And these two defenses, I would start them. Like you said, these can easily be pick sixes kind of game. So
Interceptions, yeah, fumbles, all that kind of stuff. Case Keenum hasn't really played all that much at all, really, recently. And then Teddy Bridgewater is known for his
it's gonna be
mistakes.
so weird watching this play, like this team. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna call them. I'm gonna call them purples. So we're gonna change the color a bit. They're not the Browns. They're the purples.
Purples.
Completely different team. Completely different
Yeah, they
quarterback, O line,
they are
wide
different.
receivers. Even though OBJ's playing, running backs. You know, it's gonna be
Exactly.
interesting.
Well, this game is starting in 8 minutes, so I'm gonna go get ready. You should get ready too. Hope for this
Yeah.
amazing
Go get
game.
ready
Hopefully, it's gonna be like a 45 to 48 game that we can sit down and watch all these crazy interceptions. But
and relax. All right,
yeah,
everybody. Thank you for joining. Jadvir, thank you for showing up here. Premium as well. Thank you guys for coming. We're gonna do this every Thursday, so feel free to join. And we're also doing it on Sunday right before this game. So if you guys have ever any questions, last minute questions, we're here to help. I've had a pretty good record so far. Not to brag, but I may not bet on them, but the ones I don't, I get right. So
yeah.
feel free to follow,
We
give
need
us
to
a
do
like, give
our,
us a
our
sub.
DraftKings on Sunday. We've
Yeah,
not
yeah,
done
yeah.
that
I
for
was
a
gonna
while.
say we should do it now, but that's
Too
there's
late.
still so much time left.
Yeah.
No, but this still we have
Yeah.
games
Exactly.
on Sunday, but we'll do that on Sunday. We'll do our DraftKings, and yeah, thank you guys for joining, guys. We'll see you again, catch you again on Sunday. Peace.